2,000 years ago, in a small province of the Roman Empire, something happened that divided history in two. Before it and after it. Not a battle, not an empire, not a discovery. An execution of one man on a hill outside Jerusalem. What happened in those 24 hours has never been fully told until now. It began with a meal. Thursday evening, Jerusalem, a city crowded with pilgrims. Passover week, the most sacred time in the Jewish calendar. Jesus gathered his 12 disciples in an upper room. He knew what was coming. They did not. He took bread. He broke it. This is my body, broken for you. He took wine. This is my blood, shed for many. The disciples did not understand. Not yet. But they would remember this moment for the rest of their lives. Then he said something that silenced the room. One of you will betray me. They looked at each other, confused, afraid. Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, already knew what he had agreed to do. 30 pieces of silver, the price of a slave. After the meal, they walked to a garden, Gethsemane, at the foot of the Mount of Olives. Jesus asked his disciples to stay awake and pray with him. They fell asleep. 3 times he came back. 3 times, asleep. He was alone in his darkest hour. In that garden, he prayed 3 words that have echoed through 2,000 years of human suffering. Not my will, but yours. 5 words. The most difficult prayer ever prayed by anyone, ever. Then torches, soldiers, the sound of metal, and Judas walking at the front of the crowd. His signal was a kiss, the cruelest betrayal in history, disguised as affection. 6 trials in one night. 6. The religious leaders, the Sanhedrin, had already decided the verdict. They just needed a charge. "Are you the Son of God?" they demanded. "I am," he said. For them, that was enough. Blasphemy, death. Then Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor, he found no crime. 3 times he declared, "I find no basis for a charge against this man." But the crowd grew louder. "Crucify him! Crucify him!" And Pilate, the most powerful man in Judea, washed his hands and gave them what they wanted. Before the crucifixion, Roman soldiers flogged him. 39 lashes, a Roman scourge, leather straps embedded with bone and metal, designed to tear flesh. Most men did not survive the flogging alone. Then a crown of thorns, then a purple robe, mocking the king they would not acknowledge, via Dolorosa, the way of suffering. A 600-meter path through the streets of Jerusalem. He carried his own cross after a night of no sleep, after the flogging, through crowds who mocked, through crowds who wept. The weight of the cross, historians estimate, was between 70 and 90 kilograms. He fell 3 times. At the 3rd fall, the soldiers pulled a man from the crowd, Simon of Cyrene, a stranger, forced to carry the cross of a man he had never met. He became the first person in history to literally bear another man's burden. His name remembered forever. The women of Jerusalem wept as he passed. He stopped. Even then, he stopped. "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Weep for yourselves and for your children." Even on his way to death, he was thinking of others. Golgotha. In Aramaic, the skull, a hill outside Jerusalem's walls, the place of execution. It was 9 in the morning when they nailed him to the cross. Roman crucifixion was designed to be the most painful death possible and the most public, a warning to others. The nails, not through the palms as artists painted, but through the wrists, through the median nerve, the most sensitive nerve in the human body, above his head, a sign, written in 3 languages, Hebrew, Latin, Greek, so all could read it, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. The religious leaders protested. Don't write King of the Jews, write that he claimed to be. Pilate's response, what I have written, I have written. In his dismissiveness, he wrote the truth. From the cross, he spoke 7 times to his mother. Woman, here is your son. To the disciple he loved, here is your mother. Even in agony, making sure she would be cared for. To the criminal beside him who said, remember me. Today you will be with me in paradise. No religious ritual, no long prayer, just yes to a dying man who simply asked. At noon, darkness fell over the land. Not an eclipse. Historians and astronomers have confirmed Passover falls on a full moon. Eclipses cannot occur during a full moon. This was something else. For 3 hours, from noon until 3, darkness covered Jerusalem.
Eli, them or something!
My God, why have you forsaken me?
These words are the opening of Psalm 22, written by King David 1,000 years earlier. A psalm that describes crucifixion in detail, before crucifixion was even invented as a method of execution.
Then, his last words, not of despair, of completion. It is finished.
One word, the same word written on paid-in-full receipts in the Roman world, a declaration, not of defeat, but of completion, the debt paid, the work done. The moment he died, the Gospel records 3 things happened simultaneously. The earth shook, rocks split, and the veil of the temple was torn in 2. From top to bottom, that veil, 60 feet tall, 4 inches thick. The barrier between the outer courts and the Holy of Holies, where only the high priest could enter, once a year, with blood, torn from top to bottom, not by human hands, from the top, meaning from above. A Roman centurion, a soldier trained to execute, who had watched hundreds die, stood at the foot of the cross and said words that would echo through eternity. Truly, this man was the Son of God.